Machiavelli Mills TV, man, what's going on, y'all? Let's have a discussion. Let's have a conversation. Let's engage in dialogue, man. I want you all to tell me, seriously, let me know how you all felt when you saw that Jay-Z, Sean Carter, aka Jay-Z, had struck a deal with the NFL to produce the halftime shows at the Super Bowl, right? I really want to know how you all felt. Now, me personally, I have to read more into it. I surely have to read more into it. I'm not as knowledgeable about everything or the nuances of the deal and everything like that. I have to really look at it. But I'm going to tell you all how I felt from first viewing it. When I first saw this, I was shocked. I was puzzled, and I was disappointed. Why? Because Jay-Z is someone who was strongly against performing at the Super Bowl. And I believe he also discouraged other performing artists from performing artists in the black community. I believe he discouraged those performing artists from performing at the Super Bowl as well, right? And I think he discouraged Travis Scott from doing so. But anyway, now it's looking like, okay, now it's okay to perform at the Super Bowl now because you've struck a deal with the NFL. People gonna say, that looks hypocritical. It looks hypocritical. It looks bad. Additionally, right, my other thought was that, wow, it seems like he's letting Roger Goodell and the NFL owners off the hook by agreeing to, this partnership deal where, look, I feel like the NFL owners can look at it like, you know what? You throw some money at a black leader, and the issues or their problems or whatever that they were fighting for, it goes out the window. It goes out the window, and, they kind of forget about whatever they were mad about. It can look like that. Because I feel like, look, these are the same people that and I have no doubt in my mind that they blackballed Colin Kaepernick from getting a job in the National Football League. When you have individuals like Nathan Peterman as a quarterback, the man threw 5 picks. That's 5 interceptions in one half of a football game. When you got guys like that out there, now you can say, well, guys are prone to have bad games and all that. No, he's not it. Nathan Peterman is not it. If Nathan Peterman is in the NFL, Colin Kaepernick can be in the NFL or should be in the NFL as well. And there are a slew of other guys who are still getting shots, like Mike Glennon and all that. The Bears had him. Like, come on, man. I'm from the shot. Get dude up out of there. Like, guys like that is still in the NFL. Colin Kaepernick can for sure be in the NFL still. But I feel like these are guys that intentionally blackballed Colin Kaepernick because they didn't like, or his message made them uncomfortable, and it made the fans uncomfortable, and it made owners uncomfortable, and, oh no, don't talk about race, and all of that. It's letting them off the hook, it seemed like, because now you're just agreeing to, okay, we throw big money at you, and I can partner with you, and it can come across like it's okay to treat a guy like that, to blackball a player, because he engaged in a protest that makes you uncomfortable, that makes you feel a type of way, when he broke down exactly why he was protesting. And don't give me this, oh, it's not the time and place, because had it been for a protest for breast cancer awareness or for a natural disaster, it would have been perfectly fine for the NFL, right? And I was looking like, man, it make it look like, because people look at Jay-Z like a black leader. Some people that look at Jay-Z as a leader in the black community. And people can look at that and say, well, if you throw money at one of the black leaders, all is forgiven. It is what it is, right? And he can get his money and move and go on and do what he do. And I know other people are going to say, well, Colin Kaepernick took money. He took money in a settlement. What's wrong with Jay-Z getting a slice of the pie? Well, I think it's a little different. I think it's very different. For one, I feel like Colin Kaepernick was paid back what he lost in wages. I feel like he was paid lost wages for being blackballed from the NFL. So give him his money. I feel like rightfully so. Give that man his bread. Had Colin Kaepernick not been blackballed, he would have got that 10 million or more. He possibly would have gotten that or more. I know if look, and I know Jay Cutler got a better arm than Colin Kaepernick, but the man just looked like he never wanted to be on the NFL field. Jay Cutler, the former NFL, the Chicago Bears quarterback, they gave him a $10 million deal to go 1 year, $10 million deal to go play with the Miami Dolphins. And the man looked like he can give a damn about football while he out there. He looked like he don't care. Looked like he just hate to be there in general. But they threw bread at him, coming off the couch. Seriously. So I know Colin Kaepernick, when he took that settlement, that was him getting the money back that he was owed from being pushed out of the league. So I didn't have a problem with him taking that money, because it's like, that's what people gonna say. Well, money should have presided. It shouldn't have been money. Should have just been, nah, it's not a thing. Forget about the money. Forget about the money. Your stance is more important. But I feel like they owed him that money. I really do, because they know they did wrong. Because why else would they settle? Why else would the NFL settle with Colin Kaepernick if they didn't do anything wrong? So yeah, back to the Jay-Z conversation. It definitely looks. It looked hypocritical to me. Now let me say this: as a huge Jay-Z fan, I was sitting and thinking, because people always say this: if you like a specific person, you try to make excuses for the things that they do. You try to turn a blind eye to it and things like that. And I'm not that type of person. I'm just not. I believe no man is above reproach. If a person does something that I don't agree with, I can say I don't agree with, or agree with it, or I will say I don't like the optics of that. I have no problem doing so. Some of y'all are so big Jay-Z fans that your whole argument is Jay-Z is a legend. No Jay-Z slander will be tolerated. Okay, what does that mean? What does that prove? I'm a huge Jay-Z fan. You that fanned out that you can't have an opinion on something? Jay-Z's a legend. Like, y'all look, some of y'all, I don't know, some of y'all be so, no celebrity is above reproach either. Like, some of y'all be so fanned out that you feel like, no, this person should never be criticized or be looked at sideways, or should be discussed for whatever they've done. Listen, Jay-Z has proven to do a lot of great things. He's a very smart man. He has helped out a lot of black people get out of some precarious or some situations that they desperately needed help out of, because in some type of way they were being oppressed by by the system, or they were being oppressed in some way, and Jay-Z helped these individuals out. He's helped a lot of black people. I will acknowledge that. But at the same time, I'm going to just call it how I see it. That's how I looked at it. I was disappointed when I saw that. With that being said, I hope that does Jay-Z have a bigger plan? He possibly could have a bigger plan. A lot of people say that, you got to get to the table first. You got to get to the table. You got to have a seat at the table first before you can invoke change. You have to have a seat at the table. You got to get close to the enemies in order to invoke change. You got to, play the system to beat the system. And possibly he could do some things. He could have a bigger plan. A bigger plan that will be beneficial to the black community and beneficial to, the fight against injustices against black people. He could have a bigger plan. But right now, I'm calling it for how I see it now. And I don't think it looks particularly good for Jay. Now, I heard Jay say that it's time to move past kneeling. We need to do other things besides protest. I agree. Other things need to be done besides protest, for sure. What things could be done? I'm not sure, but I think other things could be done for sure. But what my question is, how is Roc Nation partnering with the NFL to produce the Super Bowl halftime shows? How is that a step forward to invoke change? How is that progress beyond kneeling? That's the question that I have. How is that progress beyond kneeling? And it shall be seen what Jay-Z will do. It shall be seen what Jay-Z will do with this. I know I'm rambling and I'm all over the place, but yeah, man, to some people it looks like a money grab from Jay. It does. And to some other people it's like, well, you got to look at the bigger picture. You got to have a seat at the table to invoke change, which I agree with. But at the same time, some people can even look at it like, well, Jay-Z don't need the NFL to make social change. He doesn't. Also, and so it's this argument can go so many different ways, y'all. There's also other people saying that, well, Colin Kaepernick is desperately trying to be a part of a league that blackballed him in the first place. So what's wrong with Jay-Z working with them? Well, now y'all can tell me if I'm wrong or correct in this argument, but I believe that that's Colin's livelihood. He makes the most money. He makes the most money in a league that is the highest competition for him. There's a league that is the highest level of competition, where he can get paid what he was getting paid before to sustain whatever lifestyle he was living, and that was his income, his only source of income. Playing in that league that blackballed him. That was his job for years. Jay, on the other hand, Jay has other sources of revenue. He's a rapper. He's a rap artist. He has other sources of income that could help support him in whatever cause that he has handsomely, just from his rap skill. Colin's outside of speaking engagements now and all of that, you can say he has the Nike deal as well. I don't know how much that's for, but at the same time, that was his job. His job was playing in the NFL. That was his job. That was his lifetime dream. That is what he did. That's really what he did for the majority of his life. Play football and baseball. So I don't know. I don't know if you can equate the same things. Well, Colin wants to be a part of the NFL, even though they blackballed him. Well, that was his job, man. He wants to play in the highest league, highest level of competition, and continue playing. Continue doing his job at the highest level. So that being in partnership with the NFL, that's not Jay-Z's job. It's not. So I think it's kind of I think it's kind of different. But y'all tell me what y'all think. But yeah, man, to some people it can, and to me I looked at, from the optics of it, it didn't look good, man. It didn't look good. Because Jay was telling other artists not to perform, and he even had rap lyrics about how he don't need them, they need him, and everything like that. And it's like, well, and don't perform, and people gonna look at it like, well, it's okay to perform now because you got a slice of the pie. It does look a little weird, a little weird. And again, he says it's time to move beyond kneeling, and we shall see what plan he has beyond kneeling. He's a smart man. I'm never going to put that past him. He's done a lot of good deeds in the black community, but what I'm asking is that how is a partnership with Roc Nation? How's a Roc Nation partnership with the NFL to produce the Super Bowl halftime show? How is that invoking change beyond kneeling? How is that a step forward in progression for the fight against social injustices? Will the halftime show have these messages riddled within them? I don't know. I really don't. Some people can look at this as like, well, you know what? Jay-Z saying he can produce a halftime show, but it's some people that can say all that is going to do is increase the viewership for the NFL, because they know the NFL needs cool points. They need to get back popping in the black community, and they know if Jay-Z's producing it, they can have all these black famous artists come perform, and the viewership will rise for the NFL. So they're like, well, that's kind of helping them by getting some black performers, not for the free, but yeah, they paying Jay-Z to get the top black performers to perform at their events, so the viewership will increase. But again, this thought is coming from a guy who still watches the NFL. I still watch NFL football, so I'm culpable in not helping Colin's cause, and I can acknowledge that, if I'm watching NFL. So I don't know. I really was saying that. I'm not saying that Jay-Z was wrong just because he worked for the NFL in general. It was just the stance that he took about not performing at the halftime shows and how other people shouldn't do it. And now he's got to deal with them, and now he's going to perform. Now he's going to be involved in performing and production over who performs and stuff like that. And some people will say, well, look, he can have some black messages all within the performances and all of that. But at the same time, I don't know. Like, will that really invoke change? Because he's the one that said it's time to move past kneeling. And it's time to do other things beyond that. I agree. But what other things can we do? I'm not sure. I just want to know what the Roc Nation partnership with the NFL, how is that, what will that do to invoke change? I'm not exactly sure. I don't know. And to keep it a buck, I had to speak on it because if this was Lil Wayne, if this was Lil Wayne or Kanye, I would have been on their head and talked about it. I would have been talking about it. So I'm going to do the same thing with Jay-Z. I was very disappointed in looking at that. Like, why get in bed with Roger Goodell and the NFL owners? The same individuals who... Because it's making it look like, look, if you throw money at the black leaders, it's okay to do whatever we do. It's okay to blackball a player for having a stance against police brutality. It's okay to blackball them for that, for having a stance against police brutality. As long as you throw money at the black leaders and the black community is cool. It is what it is. All is forgiven, and I don't think that's the message that we want to relay. I'm sure they talked about it. I'm sure they discussed the whole Colin Kaepernick thing. So, I don't know. And it also looks kind of crazy that, well, I guess you can say Colin Kaepernick has reached a settlement. So, and he has an NDA. He can't speak on it. He has a non-disclosure agreement, NDA. He can't talk about it. They're like, well, he got his money. So it's like, but it still looks like, man, it's kind of crazy to still have this deal without involving the person who began these protests in the first place. So I don't know, man. My thoughts are everywhere on this. And also other people can say this, or other people that will say, well, Colin Kaepernick is a millionaire. Why are we so concerned about what happens to him? And I heard people say this, and I'm like, well, he was taking a stand for a cause that I believe in. And I guess if I believe in that cause, maybe I should start watching the NFL. I don't know, but a cause that I believe in, the cause that I believe in is him standing up for individuals, standing up for individuals who need a voice. Black people who are getting killed left and right, unarmed black people who are getting their lives taken at the hands of law enforcement for no reason. They weren't a threat, but they had their lives taken. Eric Garner getting choked out, Philando Castile getting shot, Alton Sterling getting shot for no reason. It's like, what in the world? Like, I believe in standing up for those causes. I believe in what Colin Kaepernick was kneeling up for sure. So, I don't know, man. Some things are worth more than money to me. Some messages are worth more than money, and it's sometimes that you can say no to the money. And I know people are gonna say, well, Colin could have said no. But again, I feel like he was getting paid. The NFL owed him that in the wages that he lost for being blackballed. So, man, again, I'm a guy that's still watching the NFL, but I don't know. Those are my thoughts on it, man. And I really agree. I agree with everything that Colin Kaepernick was kneeling for sure, 100%. But I'm not gonna lie and say that the optics of Jay-Z signing this partnership deal or agreeing to this partnership deal, the optics look bad in this instance, for sure, because it looks like some money grab situation to many people. So I don't know. We have to see what Jay is gonna do. What will come of this? We can see down the line next year what happens, what changes come about, what things occur. We can see what we want. I want to see what Jay will do behind the scenes that will come to the light and invoke change beyond kneeling. I'm interested to see that because Jay said it's time to move on. So I want to see what Jay will do beyond protesting. I mean, beyond the protest part. But some of y'all are just so fanned out, man. I feel like y'all think because a person is a legend or they're, that they're a legend, that you don't criticize them and all of that. Like, that's just that's fan mentality. And that's not fan, that's like the stand mentality. And again, no man is above reproach to me. So I don't know. Those are my thoughts on it, man. I'm interested to see. I'm not saying that Jay-Z can't have a plan. He could possibly have a plan going forward. I'm interested to see. But right now, I didn't like the looks of that. It was some people that were celebrating it because they feel like it's a win for the black community for Jay to do this. But I'm saying I want to know how the Roc Nation partnership with the NFL, how will that move beyond kneeling? How will that invoke change? I want to see what will happen beyond that, because everybody say all everybody else does is talk. It's time to put your money where your mouth is. People got to take action. People got to take action. So people say that people got to take action. So damn, you can look at it like, man, well, I need to start watching NFL if I want to support Colin Kaepernick. I don't know. But those are my thoughts on it. For real, those are my thoughts on it. I really was looking at it like, man, I was really conflicted on the whole thing. Seriously, I really am conflicted because you don't know what's going to happen from it. You don't know what plan will come from it. But it's like, the optics don't look good. Same thing I thought when Dapper Dan went and rolled with Gucci. Like, and he went on Charlamagne, DJ Envy, and Angela Yee. He went on a radio interview with the Breakfast Club and was like, he was trying to have discussions about it, and I don't know. He was like, he wasn't really giving the answers that I wanted to hear. Yeah, he gonna make some money out of the deal, but what will come from that? What will come later? What diversity training? What will come from all those things? Diversity training, that happens all the time. Diversity training after something racial happens, but I want to know what will come from this partnership. What good will come for the black community and the black cause to fighting against social injustices? I just want to see, man. But I want to know what you all think, man. I know, look, I'm not a perfect person. I don't do everything correctly. Yeah. I support Colin Kaepernick in his decision to kneel, but I still be watching NFL football. So it's like, what in the world? Do I gotta make? Maybe I gotta start watching it. For sure, but I don't know. I'm not a perfect person. Yeah, I don't do everything the perfect way, but those are more of my thoughts about it. When I first saw that Jay-Z signed a partnership with the NFL, what y'all think? I'm really interested to know what you all think about it, and if y'all felt similarly to how I felt, if y'all felt different, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. What parts you disagree with, y'all let me know, man. Like I say, I'm not a perfect person. I'm a God-fearing man, but I like trap music. I can go to church, but at the same time, I can listen to rap music. Look, man, I got a mix of different things in me, man. But I know morally, I have good morals, but yeah, man, I'm not a perfect person, so I just want to know what everybody else thinks. Machiavelli Mills TV, peace.